to TLC, where we dive into the heart of our local community, its wineries, restaurants, business, and real estate. Hi there, I'm Troy Anderson, your host, along with my co-host Pamela. We're here to bring you a new perspective on what's happening in our community.
We try.
Yeah, this week we also have a special guest, Bryce Ferguson of Ferguson Floors right here in Woodinville. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Troy. Thank you, Pamela. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
No problem. All right, should we just jump into our first segment? We've got Sipping on Success.
You're keeping us, you're just like railing on us.
I know,
Let's go.
It's Friday, and I'm excited for the show, and I just, I don't want any squirrel moments where I'm just like reeling everybody in. So
You're supposed to say, man, I really want some wine.
yeah, and I want some wine. All right, so that's a great segue. Troy, what do you have for us this week on our Sipping on Success? What delights are we going to sample?
I have
That was a good
got.
pop.
It was a good pop. That
Good
wasn't
job.
even a.
It wasn't a sound effect
It's a
either.
sound effect.
It was
That's
real.
that's the word I was looking for. This is from Two Vintners, which is over here in the Artisan District, by the Warehouse District, but closer to town. And Morgan is the winemaker. And this is it's called 2021 Legit.
Too legit to quit. See,
Perfect.
every time I've got music in my
sing
head.
it, sing it. And it's a Cabernet, because it's got 75% Cabernet. That's the threshold to call it a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, I didn't know that. I learned
Yep.
something this week.
I didn't know that.
Yep, it's got to have at least 75% to call it a
Oh.
varietal.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise it would be a red blend.
Okay. Now that's something I've often wondered, what constitutes a red blend.
Yeah, it's
Like, what does that mean?
less than, they either don't want to call it a Cabernet or it's less than 75%
Okay.
of a certain fruit.
And it can be, is there particular fruits that are in it? Varietals, that's what I was looking for. You can tell it's Friday.
Varietals. Well, in this case, they want to call it a Cabernet Sauvignon, so they put 75% in. Or,
Right, I guess
No.
what I'm asking, let me try and rephrase that so it actually makes sense for somebody other than me.
on Friday, I'm kind of...
I'm not doing a very good job of explaining what I'm asking. As in, so when it's a red blend, is it always cab in there, or could it be, I don't know. Do you know what I'm asking? Or am
Yeah.
I do know
Is it
what you're
like-
asking.
You just don't want to answer me, do you?
It could be anything. Yeah,
Okay,
it can be anything.
that's
it
what
could
I was
be.
looking for.
I think.
Syrah or
Thank you.
Merlot
Thank
or
you,
Yes.
Bryce.
what have you.
There you go. Certain varietals go better together. Like you wouldn't want to mix Pinot Noir with anything really in the Bordeaux grape blend.
Okay, all right.
So there's certain varietals that are probably wouldn't go well together.
Okay, all right. So let's bring it back to Two Vintners then. So we've got
Yep.
the Cabernet Sauvignon, 75%.
Yep, and this is a unique blend. It's got 20% Zinfandel, which you don't see
Oh,
very often, and then a 5% Petit Verdot. And a Petit Verdot is a really small berry, really concentrated fruit, deep dark colors. Winemakers often use it to get a little more color in their wine, and it's got a really strong taste as well.
okay. Well, that tracks on the colour because
Yep.
while you're chatting, I'm looking at it. Bryce and I were at, and Troy as well, we were at a networking event yesterday, and Bryce and I were talking about legs.
Yeah.
So we mean legs on wine, just in case you were wondering. So
Yeah,
he's swirling his
sexy
gas.
legs.
He's trying to figure out if he's got sexy wine legs in his glass there. And I'm looking at the colour, and it is really deep, and there is that slight kind of brown tinge
I was going to say
just on the edge.
it's a little more bricky.
Yeah, and we haven't had a
Bricky.
brickie for a while.
No.
Okay,
So.
that's a labourer in the UK.
Oh, really?
A brickie.
Oh, okay.
You're just throwing it in there. All right, so Troy's taking a,
Oh,
a
sorry.
small. No,
We didn't cheer first.
we didn't.
No.
Cheers, everybody.
We're all fucked
Happy
up today.
Friday.
Happy
That's
Friday.
okay. All right, so Troy's already taken a sip. What are you tasting, Troy? And then we'll ask our guest. Oh, he's taking another sip.
Sorry, radio silence there. That's no good. But
No, no bueno.
no bueno. I'm tasting like chocolate. A little bit of cocoa.
Really?
type. Yeah.
Okay. Let's. I'll try. You two talk.
What do you got?
It's a great question. I was definitely chatting with Pamela in most recent conversations that I am not a wine expert by any means. I'm not even the 3 levels below that. So I'm a budding wine amateur.
Gotcha.
I like
Or
that.
or newbie,
A newbie.
if you will. So
A wine newbie. Okay.
this one tastes I love reds. So thank you for bringing one.
Yeah.
This tastes very complex to me.
Mhm.
There are a lot of flavors going on. I do taste that smoothness that you
It
were
is
talking
smooth,
about.
yeah.
Yeah, there are definite multiple berry notes and the smoothness, but like this complexity for sure.
I think he's making it up that he's a newbie.
Aspiring
newbie. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Or
There
more
is a
than-
there is a complexity to it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if I can taste the chocolate in there or if it's something else that I'm tasting. Now, there's a little dryness on the tip of the tongue. The dryness doesn't spread all the way back for me.
No,
Would you agree with that?
I would agree. It's a little more fruit forward.
A little fruit forward. There we go. Jammy, maybe. No, actually, I wouldn't say
It
it's
is
jammy.
dry though.
It is dry, yeah.
Yeah, but pleasantly so. People who've listened to the show before will know that I'm not a massive fan of the dry. But it just, for me, it's just on the tip, so I don't mind that so much.
I think this wine's legit.
It is legit. It's too legit to quit. We just need to keep drinking.
They knew it was a winner when they named it.
Yeah.
I know.
Boom.
I love it when people really think about these kinds of things and their marketing and how it's going to resonate maybe with a certain demographic but yeah, the names, they're always a fun thing, for sure.
And you said it had white Zinfandel on it?
No,
Or Zinfandel?
Zinfandel, actually, the Zinfandel grape, there is no such thing as a white Zinfandel.
Thank you.
A Zinfandel is a red berry, but to make white Zinfandel, they'd basically just press it right away. So
Okay.
press it, then it's just a juice. It's
And
got-
that makes it a little bit more, oh, what's the word? What were you saying earlier? That it's a balances a flavor profile in it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Zinfandel, we don't really see blended too much
Mm-mm.
with a Cabernet, so
Yeah, it's the
that,
first time
that's
I've
unique.
heard it. It is.
I like it.
Yeah,
That's
you found
nice.
something unique.
It feels like a late summer, like it's something you want in the late summer where the weather's just changing a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
still warm outside,
Right.
sun's out,
Right. Yeah.
very nice.
Because it does still
Yeah.
have a little bit of lightness to it.
Mhm.
Probably that's what you're thinking for
a
the
little
late
bit of
summer.
crispness
Yeah.
or so. Yeah.
I've finally figured out what I'm tasting. So I am tasting a little bit of chocolate, but I'm going to go a step further. I'm tasting dark chocolate.
That's the cocoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I
And
tasted.
and then on the berry, it's not even berry. I think I'm tasting plum.
Plum.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
Plum. Which is a first. I don't think I've tasted plum in a wine, or at least
You're
been able
coming
to-
you're coming right along, Pamela.
Don't
You know,
about
this would go really good with a barbecue.
Mm.
that. Yeah. So you've got the heavy meat on a barbecue, and
Yeah.
then the slightly lighter red.
Yeah.
With the gravy.
Yeah,
No,
for sure.
Gravy. Is that like
For
southern
sure.
gravy or?
just any gravy.
Any gravy.
Really
Like,
just
like a
add-
brisket with a really nice
Oh,
bark.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a thick, like a fatty meat. Yeah. Nothing
And then
light.
we could
We're
pour
not talking
Dave's
about
sauce
barbecue.
over the top
Oh,
of it.
yeah,
and
of course.
yeah. Okay, I'm ready for the summer to come back.
I know, me too.
At least the sunshine.
Yes, the sunshine. We miss the sunshine. All right, so why did you pick this particular one? Well, this winery, two vintners, and then why this wine? I know it's because we haven't had it before. But
We haven't had it before, and early on in my winemaking journey, Morgan consulted with me, and so I saw his wine, and I was like, oh, we haven't featured him on the show yet, so let's get him on
well,
indirectly.
We've got his wine on. Maybe
Yeah.
he'll hear this and then he'll come and talk to us
Yeah.
about this wine. I want to know where he gets his names from or what inspires the names.
You're right, right.
Okay.
It's, I said he's over in the artisan district. He also makes wine for Covington Cellars. They're kind of in the same space, so right adjacent to each other.
Oh, okay.
So
There seems to be a lot of winemakers do that, make for multiple wineries, which I think is great.
yeah,
Okay.
different flavors, different blends, different
Yeah.
techniques in both.
I think that's one of the things that I've really enjoyed about this show so far is just being able to try so many different ones, and they're all so very, very different. And
Yeah.
you know, when as a newbie or aspiring newbie, as I was when we started this, I'm still a newbie. You know, you're just like, well, you know, a Merlot's a Merlot and a Malbec's a Malbec, and it's really
Yeah.
not.
Well, yeah, I remember we first sat down to talk about this, and you're like, talk about wine. What are you going to talk about wine?
We did have that conversation. Yeah, I'm like, how many times can we talk about a glass of wine?
Yeah.
Clearly, quite a lot.
Hopefully our listeners get something out of it.
Yeah, hopefully so. But that's great. Okay, well, we're going to continue to drink this
Yes.
throughout the show, but we're going to take a really, really quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk with Bryce about all things flooring.
That's exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
I am excited about
Yeah.
this. All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this very short break.
This podcast is brought to you by Woodinville Sauce Co. Hey, homeowners and aspiring buyers looking for a real estate team who are about you and your community? Look no further than Tend Home Team. We are here to help you navigate the sometimes overwhelming world of real estate. From buying to selling, we've got your back. Let's work together to find your dream home or sell your current one. Contact us today, tendhometeam.com. Welcome back to TLC, 10 Life Community Podcast. And we're
Are your
gonna
taste
dive
buds
right
ready for an
into
adventure?
everything
Look no
Ferguson
further than
Floors.
Woodinville Sauce Co. Experience a burst of flavor like never
Sold it.
before with
I
our
know.
chef-created
Just right there.
everything
That's-
sauces.
That's all we need.
From Asian Q to sizzling dos sachets
Well, Bryce, it's
and the
fantastic to
irresistible
have Ferguson
blackberry
Floors
grill
local
sauce,
gym
our
joining
creations
us
will take
today.
your dishes from
Can you
ordinary
share
to
how,
extraordinary.
it
Available in
was
stores including
started
all
and
16
woven into the
PCC
fabric
community
of our
markets.
community? Any-
Elevate your culinary game with Woodinville
Yeah,
Sauce Co.
100%.
today.
Thank you, Troy. Thank
Taste the
you.
passion,
Thank you,
taste the
Pamela,
perfection.
For having me. Just befriending both of you in recent months through the Woodinville Chamber,
Yeah.
and knowing that we are, it's what I call long throw, stone's throw away. Like
Yep.
if you could throw a stone decently good,
We could hit you?
yeah, we could touch it.
Yeah.
Our warehouses, we could
Yeah.
we wouldn't do that because it's dangerous, but.
Might be fun though.
But yeah, we are really close. We're about 2 blocks from the Tend Home Team
Yeah.
headquarters. So very close by here in the warehouse
International headquarters.
district. That's right. The global mogul empire that is building every day. Yes, thank you. So my father, Mark Ferguson, started the
Okay.
business 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
In 2023, this year, we're celebrating 30 years,
That's an accomplishment.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for him, he did a previous 10 years in the industry.
Okay.
In flooring, and he originally started in flooring 40 years ago by working with my uncle, working with his brother, who had a flooring store in Roseville, California.
Okay.
We were living in North Central California at the time, and that's where I was born, and so I like the sunshine and the hot weather.
And
What are
then
you doing
moved
here?
And my folks wanted to move up here
I gotcha.
and start kind of a new chapter
Mm-hmm.
it was about that time. Yeah, about a little over 30 years ago. And yeah, so he's had a small business. It's a unique business structure in that we don't have a large main street location
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of businesses when we drive in downtown areas. Of course, they also have a lot of overhead and they need more personnel and all that. So we're a little bit more, we are a concierge or a tailored type of consultative experience.
You offer
Oh.
bespoke services for your
Ooh,
flooring.
I
I
like
like
that.
that.
I like that. We had to see. I couldn't say that and have credibility. I needed Pamela to say it because
You need an
bespoke is
accent to
really
say
English.
bespoke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
it's
a
definitely-
British terminology, I guess. Yeah.
For sure. I love that. And in fact, we have a hardwood line that is called bespoke.
Oh,
Nice.
see.
And it is absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
And I'm not biased.
It's okay to be biased. It's your store.
So yeah, it's definitely been a family business, and it is family run. It's my father and I, and we have our teams of installers that do
Okay.
all of the installation, and they're specialized in their field. Another thing that sets us apart is the average installer experience is 20 years.
Okay.
On our teams. So we're very choosy in the teams that we want to build, the teams that we want to have in people's homes, and doing the work, because there is a whole another level of craftsmanship, and that's really important to us.
Yeah, I've seen some terrible installs over the years for sure.
Yeah.
And some really good ones.
Unfortunately, excuse me, I've been in some places where I've been witness to that too, and we're going in to try to remedy that. So yeah.
And it's not easy. As a homeowner, having done some DIY projects, flooring projects, it's not an easy task. So if you find somebody or a team like you guys that can do a really great craftsman job on it, I think it's definitely worth the extra investment.
Yeah, and I've been to the warehouse, the showroom down there. It's great. You guys have a fantastic selection of flooring.
Thank you.
That you can come in and select, and all the way from entry level through bespoke.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And a testament to you guys is your knowledge on the flooring too. And we'll dig into that a little bit more as we go through our conversation. But I want to kind of just jump into current trends on flooring, because I think this is something that people really, I think sometimes underestimate when it comes to flooring, because it's one of those things like, well, are there trends in flooring? There's trends in everything. So, you know, as somebody who's deeply immersed in flooring and the flooring industry, and which is constantly evolving, I want to dig into those trends just a little bit. So what are the trends been in the flooring industry over the last few years? I mean, I know there's always a shift, and we're probably having a shift right now, but kind of what have you seen previously? So let's touch on that first, and then what fascinating trends are emerging and that are catching your eye in the world of flooring, and then I've got a couple of other trend questions, but let's tackle those two first.
Yeah, definitely. So we do 90% of what we do is residential remodel, so single family homes or standalone homes, however you look at it. So that is the predominant residential option on the east side, on the greater east side, right? There's these huge structures that are condominiums. There's these huge structures that someone has a lot of money because they're building all the time. Large apartment complexes. That's not really what we do so much. Yes, we'll go into a condo, again, that's own apartments. That's kind of a whole another deal. But yes, our expertise would be for an owned residence. You folks can relate.
Yeah. We sure can.
And we work with a number of real estate agents as well, because there's such a shared interest in buying and selling and preparing homes, that kind of deal.
For sure.
And we'll talk about that a little bit too, I'm sure. Hardwood has been a constant. Hardwood has been popular in American homes and in European homes for, hundreds of years. And the great thing about hardwood is it lasts. It's a natural product that's sourced from the forest, which are probably right next door because we have so many trees around here. Not all parts of the country can say that, but the sourced locally. There are a lot of the hardwood that we sell is sourced in the Northwest.
Oh, that's good to know.
And then also in the North Dakota, like the northern plain states, I guess you would call it, and a little bit over by Michigan, Wisconsin. So a lot of the products available in the hardwood arena, and there are many, and they're absolutely beautiful. Oak is the predominant species, but white northern maple, as well as exotics and hickory, which I think is beautiful. There's so many options. So I would say hardwood is a constant through trends. That rides, yes, it's still on trend, but it's also,
It's timely.
it
It's
rides the
timeless.
waves.
Classics.
Yeah, it is,
Classic.
absolutely. What is also popular? LVT, luxury vinyl tile. That's my word for it. You may have also heard plank, luxury vinyl plank, LVP, LVT, same thing. Just a different aesthetic. So it can be in a wood appearance or wood design, as well as
We got some right over there.
tile appearance.
We do. We have some in our office.
Absolutely. There you go. Testify. And I have customers asking for it. So while I read about it in the industry periodicals, while I'm seeing it on Instagram, which, yes, I live on Instagram for the business because I want to know what people are talking about. I want to see, Instagram lives in visuals, right? So photos, videos, whether it's stories or whether it's a regular post. But I follow a lot of realtors. I follow that world, interior design. I want to know what other people are doing. And yes, my father says floor is fashion, and he said that for decades. That's how he lives, because it is.
It is.
It's a fashion. It's a trend. So as you choose your wardrobe, as you choose the interior paint color in your home or in your office, you're going to look at it in 5 years, give or take, and say, I'm feeling something new. I'm feeling something different. I want something different. Maybe not paint in 5 years, but clothing for sure. Less than 5 years probably. Flooring as well. So it's carpet, of course. It's very popular.
I think if you want to give it a clothing and a style analogy, the flooring is the basics of your wardrobe, right? That's the foundational piece of it, and then your furnishings and your wall colors. Those are the trends, and together they build up your style of the house. But the flooring is kind of that base piece that kind of anchors everything else together.
I like that.
I like that too.
you know,
From a stylist.
I'm a stylist, yeah.
From a comfort aspect, I've said that flooring is like tires uh, for your vehicle for the road because it's what you walk on every day.
Yeah.
So like, I tend to spend more on tires. Some people do, some people don't, but I look at it as that's what's carrying me on the floor or on the plane every single day. And when you're at home, what you walk on with your bare feet or what you walk on with your socks on has a similar effect
I think
to
that's
some
right.
extent. I mean, unless you walk on the road.
We're gonna talk
There's
about
no cars, but
Yeah.
So what about, you said LVP is kind of a trend. Is there any other thing trending, maybe in the carpet space, or patterns versus no patterns, Berber versus no Berber?
yeah, great question. The olefin or wool Berber of the past is not as popular.
No way is that.
Well, olefin was a great idea. It was cheap, made it look like the wool Berber, and was impossible to clean. So that made it prohibitive very quickly.
Gotcha.
Back in the day, but that was quite a while ago. Wool, for people who have sensitivities to allergies, because we are speaking in large part with carpet about all man-made products, wool is not, and wool is still widely available. It doesn't necessarily have to be more than the man-made products in terms of cost for a very good quality, but it does come in different qualities, different thicknesses or weights, as we call it, and then definitely along with that, different price point. But yeah, if you have sensitivities to allergies or the
Makes sense.
potential of a little bit of off-gassing, which different products, because they're man-made, they're manufactured. Now, there's also benefits to man-made products. Color and the control aspect of what that provides is great. Wool carpet will take a little bit more maintenance. So there's an opportunity cost to that as well.
Right. And you have
But-
to figure out what your level of maintenance is for what you're putting in your home. Like,
Yeah.
are you going to be fastidious about keeping,
Well, I mean, I hear
Mhm.
people with allergies all the time say they want hardwoods and everything, so wool could be a good option then at that point, right? If you want more of a warmer space.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The other benefit of that is you could do a hard surface and then you could do a wool rug.
Mhm.
And I was talking with a customer about that
Okay.
a couple weeks ago as well. So yeah, there are benefits for sure to going either way on that. In terms of patterns versus solid color, what seems to be really popular right now, what's been the biggest seller for us at Ferguson Floors the last 2 years is a multicolor cut pile. Or cut pile, listeners may not know what that's traditional carpet, right?
Okay.
If it's not a looped carpet, then it's a cut pile, or you could say it's a regular carpet if you
Plush.
will.
Is it also
Yeah.
called plush?
Yeah, could
Okay.
be. Plush could also be a softer version of that
Of a cut
versus
pile.
something
Okay.
that's maybe shorter and then doesn't feel as plush to the hand.
Right.
But yeah,
That soft and bouncy feel, or whether you want it kind of firmer underfoot, right?
100%.
Mhm.
And something that is a multicolor version of that is going to hide more dust, more dirt, be easier to live with than, say, a solid color white carpet. And yes, they still make that.
Yeah, I've seen them.
And I've sold it. And I asked them twice, to my very kind and very wonderful customers, are you sure that you want a white nylon carpet? And they said yes. And they said yeah. And I said okay. And the great thing about having a consultative type experience is I'm never rushed with my customers. I make sure to schedule enough time that I can be there to have the whole conversation with them. They're not just a number to me. They're not just a person to me. It's really about respect. It's about heart. It's about caring about everyone that I meet. And I get that impression from you two strongly too. So, so I mean, we are, and on that note, just real quick, like we are defeating the stereotype, the bad stereotype about some people's business experiences, some definitely experiences with some contractors, and I still hear those stories, and it's been 20 years. I still hear those stories, and it makes me cringe that there's people out there who wouldn't respect one, their customers, but two, just other people well, and
Yeah.
really like do everything that they can to deliver, and that's
Well,
something
it's
we're committed to.
transactions versus relationship.
Yeah. I think what I appreciate
Absolutely.
about
Yeah.
what you just said there, and we actually had a little conversation about this yesterday, so you probably know what I'm going to say, but you know, being comfortable saying, are you sure that's the right product for you? You know, your client wants it, but you know the feasibility of that. So thinking
Right.
about lifestyle choices when it comes to picking out your flooring as well is a good thing. We were just talking about white carpets. I made that mistake when I bought my house. I went with a blonde coloured carpet.
Really?
Yeah, you'd think that I was just, single person professional. No, I had a kid. And then another, and then a dog and a cat. So, blonde carpet. It would have been nice if somebody had said while I was in tow, with my toddler in tow, picking out my carpet, maybe a different colour would be a better choice for you. But being able to have that conversation from a standpoint of knowledge, I think is nice that you feel comfortable doing that. I think that does add value to what you're offering. So, yeah,
Thank you.
I wish someone had done that for me.
Did your dog and cat have blonde fur
No.
or hair? Okay. Because if they did, then I might not have been against that.
Well, I didn't,
But I
have,
still
I didn't
would-
have them at the time. I had a toddler.
Okay.
That's even
Sticky
worse.
fingers. Yeah. So just a note. But okay. So just quick wind back to what you're seeing your customers more enthusiastic about trend wise sounds like the LVP, and so hardwood flooring is still
And hardwood.
king.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other products? I've seen things like cork and those kind of
Yeah.
not real mainstays, or are people hesitant with those products?
Yeah, that's a great question. So cork has been popular. We do sell cork. It is a plank, and it is an extremely sustainable product. One of the fascinating aspects about cork. So it's an up and coming trend, at least in, I can't say nationwide because I only kind of know the Northwest industry of that, but it is up and coming in that, yes, it's here. Some customers are familiar with it. Some customers have heard about it. Other customers haven't. And I don't think it has become pervasive knowledge-wise up here, but it is sustainable. It is harvested from recycled wine corks, largely,
Really?
which is fascinating and wonderful. And then also, they harvest from existing trees, and it does not kill the tree
Right.
in the way that they do it, because they only take so much from it, and I found that
It grows back.
unbelievable. Yeah.
That's really cool. So
Yeah.
anybody that's looking for sustainable options in their homes, they've got, the cork, and then
Yeah.
that you can source local hardwood flooring too. I think that's fascinating.
It
Yeah.
is.
100%, and it does have a water resistant membrane on the top for any customers that are thinking,
Gotcha.
is it waterproof? Waterproof is an elusive comment. Some manufacturers will say these products are waterproof, and I've got multiples at the shop, but Dad and I are always cautious in that almost everything these days is extremely water resistant. That's how we'll say it. Because if you have standing water on a surface across think of like a minor flood in your home,
Dishwasher breaks.
Yeah.
all over
it
the floor.
could be a problem. So if you dress it quickly, probably not a problem. And different products are better, but yeah, there is a spectrum.
It's still going to get underneath the product too.
Yeah, 100%. You're probably looking at an insurance claim.
Yeah.
Where then you're just looking at replacement, which is great. But also to say carpet, like, yes, people love carpet. So it's not to say that carpet's not. And what I've seen on trend, and sorry, and a very long-winded answer here, is hard surfaces with rugs over the top.
Okay.
So either a rug in the bedroom, rug in the living room, runner in the hallway. But the trend as of late, at least what I'm seeing online, tends to be hard surface, either hardwood or luxury vinyl with rugs for traction too.
Yeah.
For little kids. Yeah.
Well, that's a perfect segue into what I was thinking about. For our listeners that are keen on sprucing up their spaces, can you recommend some products for certain applications? For hallways, for bedrooms, kitchens.
Yeah, great question. So the main distinguishing point is it a water room? Or is it potentially a wet basement? What I mean by that is the concrete in the basement. Different homes, whether you're on a slope, whether you're not on a slope, how the land is laid out, where the home is at. is water an issue in terms of coming into that concrete in the basement or wherever in the bottom space in the home? Could be the ground floor. Is that an issue? Does it retain moisture in that moisture is coming to the surface, in that moisture is coming into the subfloor? Or if it's just the concrete pour, then is it coming into the flooring? So these are a couple aspects which will dictate the conversation of where we go. But let's say it's a dry home. Okay, great. So it's not a foundation thing. Okay. And, and I think about, and we talk about all these things as it applies with each customer, but is it a wet room in the house? So what do I mean by that? The obvious, right? Bathrooms,
kitchen.
Utility.
Utility
And
room, yeah.
not
You forget about the utility room.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and not necessarily kitchen. When I first got started, I thought kitchen. Yeah, water
Yeah, no
because I think
Well,
I'm
why
doing
would you?
hand washing, dishwasher. It's a wet
Fridge.
room. No, not
Oh, okay.
really.
All right.
So a lot of people do hardwood throughout their kitchen and all the main living areas. And the trend seems to be also in the hallways, but not necessarily the bedrooms. So bedrooms, carpet.
Okay.
I
That's
was going to say the same thing.
You will.
perfect. We're like one mind over here.
Symbiotic over here.
Yeah, but the possibilities are endless. Troy, and answer your question.
Yeah.
You could do hardwood in the bedrooms. Absolutely. I think it's trying to think of a different word than this, but regal. Like it depends on the hardwood, depends on the stain.
Right.
But you can really have, there are so many different options with hardwood. So the Nordic popular style that has been for years, decades, probably. I don't know, I'm not an expert of Nordic nations, but I just hearing about the industry and what's popular there is wide plank.
Yeah.
Not just wide plank, but long plank. And we've got a product that we sell that is from one of those countries in the Nordic region in Europe, and it is 8 feet or 9 feet long, every single plank,
Wow.
and it's a wide plank, and it looks amazing. If you have a large main living space, or if you have a great room, this is really going to magnify it.
And you got to have a really good framer, because there's a lot of inconsistencies in the subfloor over that.
And that is part of that product
Yeah.
too, is subfloor prep.
Gotcha.
And that's something that we can do, but yeah, it does take a little bit more labor to
Yeah.
do that.
So the one area in my home that sees a lot, and I'm sure in most people's, is the stairs. So what's
Yeah.
your recommendation for that? Because that's
Great
a high traffic
question.
area. You've got carpet on it. It's gonna, the tread's gonna be pushed down. That's where you're gonna get all your dirty feet and dirty shoes if it's directly into the house.
Yeah.
Do you recommend carpet for that, or is there a specific kind of carpet that for those high traffic areas?
Excellent question. So stairs are fascinating in that there are multiple different options to go with on stairs. If you have hardwood in the home, you could do hardwood stairs, and we do. And if you say, Bryce, traction is an issue because we either, one of us living in the home has fallen before, or there's medical issues, physical therapy, physical issues, or there's children, little children, or there's an elderly pet. I mean, I've heard all. That's great, and there are options. So we would do a 100% loop, tighter carpet, and do a runner affixed to the hardwood steps over the top of that to give
Okay.
extra traction if you want to go the carpet route. And then this still leaves the visual of hardwood on both sides
Yeah, I've seen that.
and returns.
That's classy looking.
Yeah.
It is very classy, and that's definitely on trend right now. And knowing that you do have a full hardwood, either you do have a full hardwood underneath, or maybe you built it the first time that way. So we just add hardwood on both ends, and you achieve the same effect.
Okay.
Other options are, of course, to do something like LVT on stairs, and we've done that, and that's going to take care of it as well. It's not going to be as expensive as hardwood. And then there's also an option if you like the full hardwood, but you say we want a little extra traction. There is a finishing product that we'll use as a very top coat when we stain and finish the hardwood which adds a little bit of traction. It's
Really?
a fascinating
Oh.
product called anti-slip.
That's cool.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of
I know
it.
socks and hardwood stairs terrify me sometimes. It's like,
Mhm.
where's the handrail?
Yeah, yeah, and it works very well. I've touched it, I felt it. We did it on a
Cool.
project, and it's very highly recommended. Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't even know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like the look of the wood,
Mm-hmm.
but to navigate it every day can be a little treacherous.
Mhm.
Plus you've got those little sticky bits on your socks that
Yeah.
kind of touch the floor. Okay.
And the great thing, if you have hardwood floors and you think, gosh, we've got some damage in this, or we had a little bit of water damage, or what do we do now? Well, a really great cost-saving option that could basically bring your hardwood floor back to looking brand new is to sand and restain and refinish it, and that's going to be a fraction of the price of probably any new flooring option there, and that's something that we do too.
Cool.
That's very cool. Right, let's take this to a slight real estate angle, if you like, because we're all about real estate. So you just talked about the stairs and things like that. So speaking of making spaces shine, how much of an impact does flooring have on the overall appeal of a property? And Troy, you can jump in on this one as well. Are there flooring choices that tend to make homes more inviting or significantly boost the attractiveness to potential buyers? Kind of good to get both your aspects on this one.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
He's pointing at me, and I was looking at him.
He's a flooring expert.
He is.
Yeah. Well, working with a number of real estate agents, we kind of have those conversations together, and it's definitely, I am so welcoming. In fact, when I'm in their space, I defer to them. So I'm asking them, well, what do you think? And they're not shy to say, let's go this direction, let's go that direction. Sometimes it's the agent making the call, whether it's part of a concierge service, what have you. So, so sometimes they tell us, hey, and the agent's picking the product. That's great, and let's do that. Light neutrals, you can't really go wrong with. We're trying to increase broad mass appeal for potential customer.
I
What
call
do you
it
think?
greige.
Yeah,
Beige,
there you
yes.
go. Gray and beige. Oh yeah, or the Bellevue beige of old.
So what do you think? What significantly boosts the attractiveness for potential buyers on flooring for you, Troy? What you've seen?
Well, I'd say most of the conversations I have with people are they don't take into account the first impression
Okay.
when you're coming into a property and there's maybe some bad hardwood flooring or bad carpeting. They're like, well, we'll just give it credit for that. That's what they say to me, and I'm like, well, you're really all about first impressions here. Even if someone comes in and says they hate the color of the carpet and they're going to rip out this brand new carpet that we put in, they're going to be way more attracted to the property with it clean and fresh
Okay.
than coming in and trying to.
So it's not necessarily what product, it's the condition of the product that is
Correct.
actually leads to the attractiveness to
Yeah.
people to explore more.
I mean, if you
in-depthly.
got goldenrod shag carpet,
Mhm.
it might not appeal to everybody.
Yeah.
I can find you a shag carpet if you want one.
Goldenrod,
Give me some time.
or maybe olive. I remember my grandma had a rake.
Oh, what?
She used to rake the carpet.
No.
I'm not even kidding.
That's great.
I'm looking at your face like, is he pulling my leg? Is he?
Did it work?
Oh, you could tell where everyone was walking. Lay one way or the other.
That's so funny.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
would second what you said, Troy, for sure. I'm a visual person, and my assumption is at least the majority of the population is visual. Whether they'll admit it or not, and sometimes it's subconscious,
Yeah.
right? It is the image that just having your eyes open, you're taking everything in. So when you're doing business with someone, you see what they're wearing, even if you're looking at their face, looking at their eyes. So if you're walking in a home and you're thinking the possibilities that we could do are, and you start thinking those in your mind, your receptors, your eyes are still taking the other things in. And if you touch things, the touch is, maybe secondary to what we're talking about today, but it's still senses. Your senses are still taking in. So it is a different conversation. It is a different thought line for us. When we're talking with an agent and we're looking at selling, like they're selling a home, we want to make it look really nice.
Yeah.
As preparation for that. We're not going extraordinary price-wise. We're going with something that looks nice, but it's going to keep the cost down.
Gotcha.
Because we want to be beneficial to our agent friend. We want to be beneficial to the seller who wants to make it look nice and sell the home, and they're leaving.
Yeah.
Now, it's a different conversation if someone's buying a home and they're planning to be in the home for 5 to 8 years.
right.
Okay, now we're looking at something that looks nice, feels nice, is going to last a long time.
And I'm willing to pay more because I like the way it looks,
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
or it's my style.
Yeah, it's an interesting way of thinking about it, because I have this conversation at home, right? It's like, okay, well, you know, how much do you spend on the carpet? You have to ask yourself, how long are you staying there, right? And then, well, we could change it when we leave, but then somebody else is getting the benefit of it. So there's all these, so it's interesting getting your guys' perspective on it. It's like, okay, if you're going to be there, buy what you love, buy what feels good. And if you're thinking of selling, listen to the agent and the flooring people and just get something that looks good, that may not be your style, but it appeals to the masses.
Well, and if you have investment property too, and you cost segregate for your taxes, it's depreciable over 5 years. So the IRS says, hey, carpet lasts 5 years.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've learned 2 things on this show.
It must be a good carpet. That'd be all right. No, just kidding. No, carpet lasts a long time.
Usually people have carpet in their house a lot longer than 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
And if you take care of it, it's going to look really good for a very long time.
All right, side question. If you vacuum, how often should you vacuum your carpet a week to make it stand up and look good? Somebody's told me that, well, somebody gave me an answer to this. I want to see what you think. Sorry, Troy, side note.
How much dust accrues in the space on a daily basis?
Don't give me problems, just give me a solution.
I'm asking qualifiers. So I'm under the mindset of once a week.
Okay.
I've talked to customers who vacuum once a day.
Okay.
I've talked to customers who vacuum more than once a day.
I think it depends if you have pets and kids and
100%.
traffic.
Yeah. Well, I had a carpet cleaner come to the house, and his recommendation was you vacuum your carpet the number of times a week based on the number of people in your house.
Oh,
So if
okay.
there's 4 people,
Yeah.
you vacuum 4 times a week. I just wondered if that was just like a industry
Who
standard.
vacuums 4 times a week?
My mother used to.
Really?
I think my mum used to vacuum every day.
Oh.
There you go.
I don't have time for that, but
Now, if you have a shag carpet, I don't know you vacuum at all. Like, how do you do that?
all right, that's just all.
There's things living in there.
Moving on.
All right, so you guys have been a cornerstone here in our community for several years. We already kind of talked about what sets you apart. Are there any unique services or achievements that you or your dad are especially proud of that our listeners might want to hear about?
Yeah, great question. I think definitely being choosy about our installers helps. I mean, they are the other side of what we do, right? Dad and I do so much. We do all of the quotes, we do the consultation, we do we're basically with our customer from start to finish. And I think that sets us apart from other larger businesses too, which parcel it out. I'm not saying that's bad, but like they parcel it out, so they'll have someone come out and measure, and then they'll have someone else type up the quote, and then because they're handing it off from one person to the next, and so you work with a lot of different people throughout the process, whereas with my father Mark and then myself, it's either he or I, so we each take our own projects, and then we're carrying the line all the way through. So I personally also in life, I like the concept of having a single point of contact
For sure.
on any given issue, let alone a project, right?
Well, it decreases problems
Yeah.
almost 100% of the time.
Or it should. So.
Yeah, it should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least you've got a point of contact where, like, okay, this is not happening correctly. One person can
Right.
go and resolve the issue as opposed to, well, who's dealing with it?
Yeah,
I like that.
absolutely. And
Or
sometimes
it gets lost in translation. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, you're good. And sometimes I'm bringing the installer along if
Yeah.
it requires that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's normally one lead installer on a project and then myself, and I like that continuity personally, and I like the fact that our business is structured to be able to deliver on that, and that's great too. I think the other thing that sets us apart And hopefully, and I desire that every business would be this way, but it's just the heart. That you have the heart in what you're doing. Now, does that mean that you're like, I don't know, like when you say heart, maybe a lot of things come to mind, but you have the determination and the commitment to see this project through, and not just that, but the respect issue that I was talking about before too. I care about what I do. We care about what we do, and we are all committed to it. So having that unity of respect, commitment, determination, and to do something and to do it really, really well. Like, I feel like this should have been taught back in school. This should have been taught in high school. Like,
Work
looking
ethic?
back, yeah, work ethic, but also just a spirit of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Whether everyone was going to become an entrepreneur or not, I feel like these real life skills, right, in your personal life, with your personal relationship, interpersonal relationships with friends and family members, relatives, what have you, people that you just meet doing business in your personal life, and then let alone in business too. Just mutual respect and care, admiration, all races, all languages, all religions, all creeds, whatever it is, and just having a mutual respect. And I've got to see a lot of that being part of the Woodinville community, just the chamber and other functions. And I think that's beautiful, and I'm trying to just be another partner that has that same optimism and that viewpoint and that respect, and trying to be even more part of our community.
Well, it certainly sounds like you care about the end result for your customers and your clients. That you want them to have the best experience, but ultimately feel fantastic about the choices that they made in choosing you and choosing their flooring for their homes, which I commend you for that.
I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and
We would never have guessed.
No, okay. I think I've heard some other episodes of people on, and I felt like when I was listening, I'm like, I can relate to that. That's how I try not to be a perfectionist in the bad aspects of being a perfectionist. Like, you can't let anything go, but the good aspects, try to hold on to it. And I think that really brings a really great result in business too. Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I would agree as well.
Yeah.
So, you always show up in your brand. And so I appreciate that. You got a baseball cap.
He wears a shirt and
He
tie
wears a
every
shirt
time I
and
see him. I love it.
No suit jacket or anything, but this is Ferguson Floors brand right here, and that makes a difference.
Yeah.
When-
Well, what it says
Consistency.
to me, consistency. So it translates that everybody that sees you like this every time knows that they're going to get consistency in the work that you produce for them, but also that the shirt and tie for me screams professionalism.
Yeah.
But the baseball cap is approachability. So I don't know if that was your
thank you.
intent, but that's what I'm getting. Just
It
throwing
works-
that one out.
works
there.
really well.
Great. I'll take it.
Keep it up.
Perfect.
Keep it up.
Keep it up.
Hey, give
Exactly.
me like 3 or 4 more years. I'll add the sports jacket.
You don't have to have
We
the
gotta
sports
like,
jacket.
because you
I
always
don't-
have to
I-
step it up in business. You gotta like consistency, good, yeah, right. But we also have like a craving for new things,
Yeah.
and like a craving to make things better, a striving
little
for better.
elevation.
There you go.
I think the tie and the tie pin's the elevation point.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Perfect.
Yeah, I love it. All right.
All the audio listeners are like, dang it.
Well,
I
they'll
need
just
to-
have to go
need to
watch it
a
on
video.
YouTube.
It's a great look. I like it. All right. Let's round things out with our what do you do for fun here in the community, and maybe what are some things that you could let our listeners know that are maybe some hidden gems for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Well, I like coffee. So someone said last night that connoisseur is a better word than snob, and with
Yeah.
regard to coffee, and I thought, yeah, it is. Yeah, I like that. I may have been the one that said coffee snob, and they said coffee connoisseur, and I thought that's great. Again, not sure like wine that I'm at that level yet, but hey, we're all aspiring, right? So I'm always on the hunt for a new, really good coffee shop.
Okay.
I like Sidekick.
Yeah.
So Sidekick in the Wooden Creek
Yeah.
district, is that what they call it, or the
Is
neighborhood,
it District Flat?
or the
No, yeah, District Flats is the apartments over there. It is that area is just
Woodinville's
called Wooden
changing.
Creek.
Wood-
Always,
oh, okay.
always changing.
The development's called Wooden Creek.
Okay. I've been to Sidekick. It's
Yeah.
good coffee, and they have.
It's
good
always crowded.
pastry. Yeah, it's always busy.
And they do.
And the mayor's always there.
Yeah.
Yes, I bumped into him there. Yep. And I thought, and I just came from a chamber breakfast
Oh.
where he spoke, and so I didn't walk over there with him, but I was over there literally like 15 minutes later, and here comes the mayor. And I'm like, I just saw you, and I just talked with him at the chamber.
Yeah.
He was getting his coffee. Okay, so
Mhm.
Sidekick, you've been to any
And
other coffee
yeah,
places?
I was gonna say just yesterday I went to Tart.
Oh
is
my
that
gosh,
how it's
yes.
pronounced?
Yeah,
at the
Tart.
Heritage.
Yep, tart.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I really liked it. I like the coffee. I got a savory breakfast, but I'm intrigued to try some of their sweet.
Oh,
pastries,
yeah, yeah.
which I have not had yet. So that was first time.
Yeah, Bree's amazing.
Mm.
The owner of Tart at Heritage. Now, have you
And
been
her
to
staff.
Heritage? Yeah, the
I
staff
have
are
not
great.
yet. No,
You
and I
missing
don't know
out.
why. I know. I was looking at their menu. I'm like, I need to go here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Kevin was on the other day, and he was talking about the hush puppies, wasn't he?
Hush puppies,
Yeah,
Mm.
hush
yeah.
puppies at Heritage. Yeah.
Okay.
The staff there is amazing. They're very attentive.
yeah,
Food's
it
delicious.
looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The decor, everything. You know,
It's very well done. It's
Yeah.
it's those attention to detail, like you.
Hmm.
Very attention to detail and on purpose.
Yeah.
intentional. Yeah,
Intentional.
Yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
Next to that, I've been to Vivi Pizzeria.
Mm-hmm.
Have you two been there?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Excellent. I've never been to Italy, but it seems to me a little bit of kind of what authentic Italian would be.
Their pizzas
Um,
are good, but their pasta dishes are amazing too.
Already.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay, I
the
have not
pizza
tried
was
that.
great.
Oh, you haven't tried
Well, have I?
They have a
If
nice
I have,
wine
it's probably
selection.
been about 4 years.
it? Okay.
So
Okay.
I guess I need to go back and try it out again. Thank you for that hidden gem.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And they're building out Hollywood District more
Mhm.
with that huge crane, which
There's
I think
3 of
has
them.
some Christmas decorations on it
Yeah.
right now, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Harvest
just like
development.
Yeah.
all of that plan, and that's going to bring a lot more retail in,
Mhm.
a lot more residential too. I'm sure if they're doing the high
There
rise.
are things for sale in there, which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
I think there's so many hidden gems for us to explore in
Mhm.
Woodinville.
For sure.
That's great. All right. Well, I think
Thanks for
we're
that.
we're gonna take a really quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to challenge Troy with his real estate roundup.
Oh my gosh.
Don't be scared. We'll be right
See you in a
back
minute.
after this short break.
Are your taste buds ready for an adventure? Look no further than Woodinville Sauce Co. Experience a burst of flavor like never before with our chef-created everything sauces. From Asian Q to sizzling dos sachets and the irresistible blackberry grill sauce, our creations will take your dishes from ordinary to extraordinary. Available in stores including all 16 PCC community markets. Elevate your culinary game with Woodinville Sauce Co. today. Taste the passion, taste the perfection.
Welcome back to TLC 10 Life Community Podcast. I'm the co-host Pamela. I'm here with Troy. He's the actual host, and our very special guest Bryce from Ferguson Floors. We just had a fantastic conversation all about flooring and the trends and what can elevate your home and things to think about. But now it's time for our real estate roundup, where I asked Troy a question that is usually somewhat real estate related. We're going to keep it on the same theme of flooring though this time around. So are you ready for the questions?
Flooring, all things flooring.
All
This
things
is
flooring.
Awesome.
Well, it impacts real estate in a big way, right? Whether we think about it or not.
Well, it's kind of the foundational purpose. We talked about that already.
Yeah,
you know, so.
exactly. So let's carry on with the flooring theme for our real estate roundup segment.
All right,
So
hit me.
we've talked about how much flooring impacts the overall appeal of a property, and Bryce shared some of the flooring choices that tend to make homes more inviting or that can significantly boost the attractiveness for potential buyers. But let's also look at what homeowners want to see. So potential homeowners, home buyers really, I guess. Can homeowners simply clean carpets, or are home buyers looking for more?
Well, that's depends is the answer.
Don't give me a depends. That's not an answer.
Well, I'll just give you a recent experience that we had in our business where we put a house on the market, or we were going to put a house on the market. The carpet had a few stains, a few traffic patterns you could tell, and we had the conversation, yeah, maybe we should get it cleaned. And so we had it cleaned, and then like immediately after that, it smelled like wet dog in the house.
Dear. Oh no.
And so at that point we were like, all right, what do we do? So, you know, sometimes unintentional consequences happen when you clean carpets.
Mm-hmm.
Carpet and flooring in general, in my opinion, you know, unless you're doing high end, is relatively inexpensive for the bang for the buck.
Right.
So, you know, in this case, replacing the carpet probably would have been a better option because we would have started new, and it has the new carpet smell, which is not super healthy for you, but it smells nice.
It smells new. It's like you just walked into a new house.
Yeah.
Okay, so are home buyers then looking for...
Home buyers are looking for clean and tidy.
Okay.
They don't want to, in today's environment with home prices where they are at, and maybe interest rates are a little higher than everyone's been used to, you know, you're already stretched, and to come into a project, no one wants to do that.
Yeah. So on the same vein then, are they looking for continuity in their flooring? So what I mean by that is, do they want the same product throughout the house, or... You know, we've talked about that it's okay to have hardwoods upstairs and whatnot, but from a home buyer's perspective, what are they looking for?
For
Generally.
the most part, people like the LVP or the hardwood or even a Pergo product in the main living areas, kitchens, bathrooms even. But, you know, predominantly we do carpet in the bedrooms.
Okay.
Anytime we're doing that, you know, sometimes if it already has a hardwood product in the bedroom, we would just redo it in the same type of material, same type of medium. So.
Okay. I mean, that was my next question, whether, you know, do you have to have carpet on, not have to have, but is that what people are really looking for, is the carpeting on the you know, the second level?
Yeah.
When you're doing it for, you know, for that new home buyer?
You know, that's going to be personal preference, but predominantly we see carpet in bedrooms.
Okay.
And yeah,
Feels more of that kind of luxury kind of feel when they're in that space, right?
Right.
Okay.
And in the 80s and early 90s, I'm not sure what was going on where people carpeted their bathrooms.
Bryce and I talked about this yesterday, did we not?
Last night. Yep.
That's definitely not a trend.
It sounds comfortable, right?
Yeah, it sounds
Get out of the
disgusting.
bath, the master bath with like a nice like tile step down to
Yeah.
carpet,
Mm-hmm.
and bring all the water with you. And it's like, no, that wasn't good. Why
Yeah.
did they
Or
do
it-
that?
I mean,
would
I'm
go
sure
around the toilet too.
It does
I'm like,
feel
come on.
good on under the you know, under your feet, but it sops up all of the moisture and the mold and the from when I say it's disgusting, I just mean I'm thinking bacteria in the carpet.
Oh,
and, yeah. Okay.
So get a really nice 2-foot by 3-foot rug.
Yeah.
Or
Sneak it
whatever.
outside the
We
shower.
see
Absorbing.
bath mats
Yeah.
now that are super cool.
Yeah. Absolutely,
Yeah.
and they dry in these ones
Yeah.
that are antimicrobial, and you know,
Yeah.
there's lots of options out there. All right, so my last question, kind of side question, is what should a seller do if they need new carpets but they can't factor that into their budget?
Should hire us.
Nailed
Yes,
it.
nailed it.
Now expand.
Expand on that. Yeah, no, we offer a total concierge program where we will come in and assess the property and say, gosh, you know, you're probably going to benefit from getting new carpets. You know, we're going to spend $1 here to gain $3. We never really want to spend $3 to gain $1 unless it's absolutely necessary. You know, it has to be done. But so that's kind of what we do. We do a full analysis, you know, if it needs paint, if it needs touch-up, if it needs trim, flooring just in general. If, you know, it's got tile countertops with little doilies on them, we can look at putting in new countertops, not doing a whole kitchen remodel, but just sprucing things up. And we pay for that stuff up front.
Okay.
And then get paid when the house sells. So.
That is so cool, by the way.
Well, I think that, you know, determining factor for some people is like, I don't have the money to do that, and that maybe they shy away from putting a house on the market when they really want to because they can't factor that into their budget. So knowing that you have the resources available to do that for them and they're not out of pocket in that moment,
Yeah.
I think is a special thing to offer for people.
Yeah, for sure. And I've seen that as a problem for years and years and years. So we've offered it for several years now, being able to do that. And we've had many clients take us up on it.
Yeah.
And we only do it if it makes sense. We're not like, oh, go into every project with, gosh, let's
Well, you
spend
have
a
to
bunch of
weigh
money
up-
here.
Yeah, like you said, it's, you know, spend $1 to make $3.
Yeah,
The impact on their equity is really what you're looking at, right? How
Right.
it's going to benefit the sale price of their home. So,
yeah. And like I said, we don't go with the high-end stuff usually. We just put a mid-grade stuff in, not the cheapest stuff, you know, not the gold, you know, whatever. Bryce would know better, but we kind of go in with the mid-grade stuff and
Yeah.
make it look good, make it look clean and tidy, and on point with the colors today, grayish.
Greige. That's a cross between grey and beige.
Yep.
So if you blend them together, that's what you get, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the color people want.
The
Like a
multicolor
blend of
carpet
gray
is
and
typically
beige.
yeah.
No, just
Depending on the house paint color inside, I go one way or the other when I'm picking
Yeah.
materials
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
So
Well, this was a fascinating conversation about flooring. I mean, we talked about how, can we talk about wine? Can we talk about flooring? Of course we can. They're all fascinating topics, and I think they're really important for people to realise that there's so many different options out there for them to choose from. And, you know, you can talk to Bryce about what those options might be, and maybe you can't afford the high-end carpet, but he might steer you towards a better underlay that helps your carpet feel more plush and, you know,
Yeah.
so just want to throw that one in there. But
Absolutely.
so if somebody is considering, you know, that they need new flooring for whether they're moving or staying, how can they get hold of you? Where is the warehouse? Where can they come and pick your brain with all of this wonderful knowledge that you have?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So, FergusonFloors.com is our website. That's the mothership. You can find us by Googling Ferguson Floors, or it's technically Ferguson Floors LLC, limited liability. Also, I did want to comment that if you spill wine, perhaps, on your flooring,
Believe me,
about
I've done that.
I would say 75% of the products we sell, not going to be a problem,
Oh, okay.
including a number of carpets.
Wow. So,
So,
all you wine
that's
connoisseurs out there, get
Yeah.
yourself over to...
Woodinville wine country.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're also on Instagram at Ferguson Floors is our handle. And we are, because we're a small business, I want to tag this too, we are often running around. So running around town. We're not a Main Street USA shop. So we don't have 40 hours a week office hours Monday through Friday. We do work business hours Monday through Friday, 40 hours a week. But reach out to us in advance, schedule an appointment. That's not a COVID thing. That's been an always thing.
Yeah.
And that's just how we do business.
Can they call you for that appointment?
Absolutely.
What's the number?
Yeah, 425-806-0361. Again, you can Google us for that. Yeah,
Perfect.
or email us, whatever you like.
All right, then, Troy.
And
so
you're happy to bring samples out to people, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Back in 1993, when Dad started the business, before it was popular to do so, he started small, and that was his unique aspect. Was he would put them all in the van and drive out to the house or the office space and show samples. Now it's popular, but we still do it.
I like
Cool.
it. I like it. All right, Troy. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you and maybe have you come out and look at their home, see whether we need to upgrade carpets
Hire
or
Ferguson Floors.
to hire them, and how would people get hold of you if they want to pick your real estate brain?
Same way, Google's good. Tendhometeam.com, T-E-N-D, hometeam.com is great. Calling or texting 206-504-3660 will also get us. And we're on 24/7. Just kidding.
You can be.
That would be amazing.
It would be amazing.
All right, yeah. So if people want to find us on Instagram, it is 10 Home Team Troy Anderson.
Yep.
We're on Facebook as well. And if you like the show, please like and subscribe. We're on all the major podcast platforms. Or you can watch us on YouTube on our channel, which is 10 Home Team.
Yeah.
What do they need to do?
Porch pounder.
No.
Ding the dinger.
There we go.
We didn't get porch pounder in this week.
I know, we're not
I
drinking the
almost
porch
forgot.
pounder.
I know.
All right, well, this is a great show. Thanks very much for joining us, Bryce.
Thank you.
Thanks for your insights too, Troy.
All right. Glad to be of service.
All right, till next time, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Are your taste buds ready for an adventure? Look no further than Woodinville Sauce Co. Experience a burst of flavor like never before with our chef-created everything sauces. From Asian Q to sizzling dos sachets and the irresistible blackberry grill sauce, our creations will take your dishes from ordinary to extraordinary. Available in stores including all 16 PCC community markets, elevate your culinary game with Woodinville Sauce Co. today. Taste the passion, taste the perfection.